next couple of days, you're going to hear some stories about Jess and Austin from their family and their friends and the path that they took to get to this day. So to start off the weekend, though, Mary and I would just like to first thank Jack and Peggy Wisely for putting on this incredible, unforgettable wedding and a weekend of events.
Austin and I met our freshman year at USC in our first class for business school. It wasn't until a couple days later that he and his buddies started what they called dorm storming, and they would go to different floors and just meet girls. When I saw him, he looked familiar, but I wasn't 100% sure, and I was on the fence of like, do I want to ask this kid if he's the same kid that was in my class? And I did, and he ended up staying, and we were chatting outside of my room, and I think we talked for like an hour. We became friends really quickly. There was something about him that was so refreshing. My mom surprised me. She was in the same sorority that I was in, and she surprised me for my initiation. And I ended up having to go to the hospital for an emergency appendectomy. I put his number in her phone and just put Austin and had her texting him to let him know what was going on. And once I was in recovery, she saw his name pop up on my phone, and she asked me, "What's Austin's last name?" And I said, "Talkner." "Why?" And she said, "Well, there was a man named Stuart Talkner in our wedding. Dad's known him since he was like 6 or 7 years old." So I texted him and asked him what his dad's name was, and he said his dad's name was Ira. I said, "Is your uncle's name Stuart?" And he said, "Yeah, how do you know that?" And so I texted him, "My mom just told me that your uncle was in my parents' wedding. My dad has known your family for like 50 years.
How are you? You already found.
Nice meeting everybody.
That's when you're gonna grab your both cards and be like, "Hey, babe."
I've known Austin's family, and Ira specifically, through Stuart, who was in our wedding, for nearly 50 years. And so when you have a daughter and you think, okay, well, you know, she's going to grow up and hopefully she meets the love of her life, which she did, and you hope that the family's going to be great, which they are, and this is like marrying into family that we already have and have known forever. So it's not very often that you get this many great things to happen at one time.
When you look out from inside your home, may you always see that life is more beautiful because it's shared together, and that there are friends and family who will always be here for you. When you think back on today, with your family surrounding and creating the foundations, and your love for each other at the center, the chuppah should always remind you that your home is so much bigger than just 4 walls and the 2 of you.
Cheers.
Jess, I came to SC looking to maybe learn some things, and have the time of my life getting to follow in my dad's footsteps. Little did I know I'd be finding the love of my life in my first class. Over the last 8 years, you have seen the variety of music I listen to, and I believe that is one of the first things that made you fall in love with me. The first night we spent together, we sat up in my room and just talked and listened to all kinds of music, and I sang along to a lot of songs that most guys probably wouldn't play when they were trying to impress a girl. Now, I know I'm not the best singer, but I promise to keep singing along to any and all songs, continuing to be off pitch. And I promise, like I have done for the last 8.5 years, to say goodnight and I love you before we go to sleep every single night for the rest of our lives.
Jess, we knew this prince had found his princess when she continued to humor our brother in his love of all things Adam Sandler, became near and dear best friends with Kendall and I, and was just as crazy as a dog lover as Austin is. Jess is a kind, loving person and perfect for our brother. We are so blessed to have an amazing brother and now another amazing sister in our family.
Austin, I can't believe this day is finally here. I never would have thought that I would meet the love of my life and my best friend in my first class at my dream school. But I am grateful every day that I did. When I was little, I would ask my dad, "How did you know Mom was the one?" And every time he would say, "When you know, you know." He could never put into words what that meant, but when I met you, I finally understood.
We were catching up, and Austin started getting super giddy, which you know he never does, so I knew something was up. But since that phone call freshman year, I've seen the way that you support, care for, help him wear clothing other than Sean John. But most importantly, I've seen the way that you love my best friend. And for all that, I cannot thank you enough, seriously. May you continue to find humor in the bad and appreciation in the good. And may your friendship continue to grow throughout all the years to come. We love you very much. Cheers.
You made me laugh, learn, and grow. But most importantly, you made me feel loved and like I was home. You still make me feel these things every day, and I know you will continue to for the rest of our lives. We've been through a lot together over the last 8.5 years, but all of it, the good and the bad, has made our relationship stronger. I promise to keep quoting Friends and How I Met Your Mother whenever an opportunity presents itself, and even when it doesn't. I promise to always sing along to our favorite songs on our road trips with Poodle. And I promise to fight on with you forever from our couch, the Coliseum, or whatever away game we travel to. I am so excited to see what adventures this next chapter of our lives brings us. Austin, you are the Marshall to my Lily. And I promise to love you with our whole heart for the rest of our lives.
Mazel tov! I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Made your favorite coat, blanket the cold window, watching the falling snow. Take to the street, tear all the mirrors down, shake up the stomping ground, wait for the siren sound, call out to sea. Oh, when you wake up, you'll see it all. This time tomorrow we'll be home. Empty your suitcase, close the door. We'll run forever, forever on. We'll run forever, forever on.
I watch She's the Man with her and Jeopardy with him.
I love you. If you love each other like you love Cooper, you'll always have plenty of love to go around.
From the moment I saw you two running across Figueroa, I knew it was meant to be. You guys are the definition of true love.
When I think of champagne, I think of Jeff.
Catch our breath, what lies for us?